Welcome back to the platform of Royal Phoenix Rising Gods and Goddesses. I hope you are in perfect health and spirit. Okay. So today I decided to address you know um, the slandering, the name slandering, and all of the rumors that has been spreading regarding my children and my family and I. Decided to address the situation and bring and shine some light on what took place. Okay, for starters, you all, well, for those who already know me, I'm not a liar. Okay, I don't lie. My path is the honest path. I lie to demons. I lie to demons. Demonic entities, I do lie to. I lie to them because they lied to me, and I lie to them in order to study them. So my way of lying to them would be My way of lying to the two demonic entities will be playing into the role of them thinking I'm as dumb as they think that I am in regarding my intelligence, playing on my intelligence. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing. When I'm studying demonic entities, you know what I'm saying? Make up stories. I'm gonna tell you everything you want to hear, all of that, right? But we're not talking about that now. We're talking about the mundane. Well, not even the mundane, but what has been taking place now, this current situation. I'd like to first say that for starters, um, I love my children. I love my children. And I will do anything for my children. I will do anything for my children. And the situation at hand and what has transpired is quite simple. For starters, I'd like to first address the fact that I have done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong this entire time. Okay? This year has been dedicated to my spiritual practices and developing my spirituality and my spiritual gifts. Upon discovering who I am, and upon discovering the secrets that my family has been trying to keep hidden, my father, well, that isn't not my father. He's a sick psycho. Him and his wife are two narcissistic individuals who don't give a damn about nobody. That is why they raised their children the way that they did. They raised us as though we are a part of their property, some sort of property, which explains why I was sexually abused by both of those people. Now, over the past year, I have been complaining. I have been sharing my story on YouTube, also Facebook, regarding what transpired throughout my childhood and regarding the Hebrew Israelite community. Due to this, I have been constantly attacked spiritually by individuals from, actually, look, it's so many people involved in this shit. But, I've just been constantly attacked by a lot of individuals within the community, mainly my parents, exes. It just been a lot of spiritual attacks that I've been experiencing, my children included. While experiencing these spiritual attacks, it's like I would try different methods of protection, what works for me. My ancestors allowed me to undergo those experiences so that I can know how to better protect my children and I. So this entire time, I've done my best to protect my babies. I've distanced myself from family, friends, I don't care who you are. I've distanced myself from everyone who were toxic or individuals who were not on my level spiritually. And those who do not resonate with my soul, I've distanced myself from. My focus has been home, my children, my business. That is accurate. You saw that shit. You've seen it firsthand. How did the situation get out of hand the way that it did? Well, let's talk about that, shall we? As I've mentioned, I've been under spiritual attack for months now. For months now, I've been complaining to my social workers about what has been taking place in my home, what has been taking place with me and the individuals. in a community and things as such. My parents included. Well, Arthur Scott and Cherie Patton Williams, whatever you want to call yourself, demonic entity. I'm going to find out your name. It's just a matter of time. And when I do, as I was saying, I've been complaining about these attacks. Nothing has been done. I've been complaining about the fact that my children and I are in danger. Nothing has been done. I have recorded conversations of my social worker and I. When I mentioned the last time, I mentioned to her, my spiritual attack prior to this time, which was major, is when I went into labor, which was initiated by black magic. I went into labor to give birth to my newborn. It was like a setup. The person who babysitted my children was involved in all of this. I was led to her by them. I gave her specific instructions to not allow my parents to come into my home, to not allow my parents around my children. And she disrespected, and she broke and disrespected every boundary. My parents came into my home because when I left, my sink was broken. When I got back, it was fixed. I was okay with my sink being broken. My faucet and my sink being broken, and my kitchen being broken. I was okay with that. I didn't need help. I didn't ask for help. Upon leaving the hospital, she asked me if I needed anything. I mentioned probably 7 to 10 things. I got home to a basket full of baby things. Pampers, clothes, pacifiers, bottles, this and that, food, tons of food. This was Friday. The stores closed on Friday. So when I seen all of this, it was just suspicious. I knew that she did not bring all of those things in my home because of my children. And then I saw that my stroller was left home. So it's like, how are you getting around with my children? How do you take them to daycare? In other words, she allowed my father to drive my children to daycare. My father, well, he's not my father. God damn it, let me get that out of my head. Arthur Scott is the one who purchased all of those baby items and things. Those things were all cloaked with black magic. My food was cloaked with black magic and shit. They bought a plate of food from someone in the community. On the plate was lasagna, mashed potatoes, greens, something else. That was that Friday, right? But I was so upset because I knew when I got into my home, I felt that energy. Something was off. Something is suspicious. And damn it, why did she not listen to me? And I was so upset because I did not want to be in that place of anxiety because something is off. 1 week later, well, actually, over that, same week, I began to notice how I was losing weight. My hair was falling out, and I got sick. My children got sick as well. My hair was falling out. My hair never falls out. I then got a reading from a specific sister. So I reading this particular sister asked me. She said, "Oh, I forgot to mention about my altar as well. My altar was cloaked as well. Something was on my altar, some type of black magic, something spell, whatever was cast on my altar. My home environment was off. So when I got the reading about a week later, the woman asked me, she said, who are you getting your food from? Someone put blood in your food." The moment she said that, I thought back 1 week prior to when I ate lasagna. She said something is in your home, it's dark. Some type of dark object is in your home. I had to throw away everything that was on my altar. I threw away, that was enough. I threw away everything that was on my altar. I threw away all of the baby clothes and all that little suspicious things I threw that all away. I threw all the food away in my home. I threw everything away. Everything. We ate a little of nothing. We ate little of nothing. Until I received enough finances to actually get us back up. By then, rent was due. I didn't have rent money. I said, you know what? Screw that. It's either rent. I had to purchase everything all over again. I had to purchase. Mind you, the way we eat, it's like we're not fortunate enough to eat what we want. So the way that we eat, it's like the food lasts until the next paycheck. So this month approaches. What? Yeah, was it this month? No. Where? Wait. July. Wait, was it July? What month are we in now? July. No, it was August. It was August. So this month approaches, and I had to use the rent money to keep us up with food. I had to buy the baby new clothes. I had to buy my son new clothes. I had to buy my children shoes. It was just so much I needed to buy after throwing so much away. Toys, and I threw so much away. So it's like, you know what? I don't have the rent money. I just don't have the rent money this month. Then I thought about the fact that, you know what? Where is my inheritance? Where the heck is my inheritance money? My dad contacted me, or Arthur Scott contacted me and asked me, where am I gonna put the rent money? Because he know I don't deal with him. I don't talk to him all that this month so that he can pay landlord. I said, I don't have the rent money. It's enough y'all tried to kill me. And that didn't work. Now you ask me for rent money? Look here. I will have the money when I get the inheritance. When you give me my money. That's when I will have the rent money. I got upset at the fact that they are holding my money. Meanwhile, I'm penny pinching, barely getting by, trying to feed my babies. While they living off of my goddamn money and what my father left for me. My biological father. Arthur Scott is not my biological father. Putting one and two together, it takes two RH negative to create an RH negative child. He is not RH negative. Because if he was, all the rest of his children would be RH negative, and they not. So my mom stepped out of her marriage with his brother. He went by the name Kazakia. He passed away. That's my biological father. He left when I was young. He left when I was young. He had another family somewhere else. He left because this place was so freaking corrupt. He left as well to protect that secret as well. The secret of me being a bastard child. So there I was, unwanted. Unwanted, you know. I mean, he apologized. He definitely apologized, but an apology does not fix what transpired. Nope. Because he left me with not only a he left me with not only a corrupt father who was an alcoholic, who sexually abused his own, stepfather, for that matter. That's why I never had any type of connection with him. Every time I was around, I never knew why I always felt uncomfortable around him. I could never put my finger on it. It's just a uncomfortable energy. Like, I know, it's like I don't have no ill feelings towards you, but you make me feel uncomfortable, and I don't know why. All this information was revealed to me over the past months. Months ago, I was talking about this, but they were still like sending psychic attacks and things and make me doubt my own self and my own abilities. They will cause me to doubt my own abilities, my own spiritual strength. But now I know that was accurate truth. That man is not my father. I was sexually abused by him and his wife. Well, that entity. But my father left that money for me. All of these family secrets were kept hidden. My memory was wiped so that I wouldn't remember. But it wasn't until I began to awaken to memories as well, and information that has been hidden, sick family twisted secrets. In the Uncle Nathaniel, he sexually abused me too. I recently received information about that. As I mentioned, they practice Santeria, a religious, satanic, a Satanism religion. I've been exposing them in the Hebrew Israelite community for months now. They've been trying to, I'm telling you, they've been trying to get under my skin. They've been trying to shut me up. They've been trying to scare me. None of their tactic worked. Nothing worked. So after the last spiritual attack, let's talk about that. I spoke to my social worker. I have that conversation recorded. When I told her about that, my hair falling out, my children got sick, I got sick. She said, what do you want me to do? No, she said, she brushed it off. She brushed us off. The time prior to that, she said, what do you want me to do? All of a sudden, Child Protective Services cannot do their job, which is to protect children and mothers. Everything that I've told them about my life path, they have used against me with my parents. So after this last attack, which was like pretty much over the weekend, Sunday, I got fed up. My eye was swollen. Someone sent some type of black magic spell, whatever. My eye was swollen, and I had enough. 2 days later, I didn't leave then because I did not have the finances to. 2 days later, I used the last of my money, which is like $200. to pay for transportation, a cab to drive my children from here to from here to the other city where a women's shelter is located. I cannot mention that. When we left, we had all of our things. I did not inform the social services because I've already realized everything that I've been telling them, they've been using against me working with my parents, trying to take my children out of my care. The social worker Tali has been doing this out of jealousy. She's jealous of the fact that I'm more experienced in her own job and she went to school for it. I'm experienced because I have mastered being a spiritual advisor, being able to help people from a soul level because I've experienced what they've gone through. When she went to school to learn these things, but only to come across someone like myself to realize, bam, knock in the face, you don't know so much now, do you? I was a case they could not help. They couldn't help me. So for them to see me help myself and pull myself up out of that dungeon of hell, she was intimidated and jealous. She is intimidated and jealous. This is personal. They played no part of in my healing. This entire year has been dedicated to me healing, breaking the generational curses that has been placed upon my bloodline, working on my business from ground up, working on my spiritual gifts so that I can provide for my family. No one played a part in this. No one. I had no one support. She didn't support me. My parents didn't. I had no one support even when I was healing. Healing wounds, they lacked the experience to help me heal from. You hear that? And to see me heal myself on my own along with my children. Deep. It was intimidating. She's jealous of that. Jealousy. Jealousy stems deep. It's ugly and it is very toxic. It makes you do some of the most unspeakable things, such as taking children from a mother because she tried to protect them from harm, of which you all failed to do or did not play a part or did not want to assist. You understand where I'm coming from? No one take credit for where I am. And how much did I advance spiritually? No one. That's all me. That's all me. Ground up. I dug myself up from rock bottom. They were seeing that and they made it their business to keep me in a state of lack, poverty, and depending on them. They tried their best until I began to use my own spiritual abilities as a tool to help me build the foundation of my empire. They saw my creativity, my writing skills, my painting. When they came in my home, they faked a smile at my paintings. They faked a smile at my songs and my tracks. And they, you know what I'm saying? Things that all my creativity. I've been like really into this over the past months. Working hard. Working with my children, helping them heal. Helping them develop. My children even begin to transform. To this very day, there has been only positive reports from the daycare, positive reports from the psychiatrist. Psychiatrist, he really ain't got nothing on me. He can't even tell me about myself. He don't know who the heck I am. It's like he didn't go to school for this. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go to school for this. He can't say much. But all of my reports been positive. So I've been working. Once I discovered what happened to me as a child, I began to fight for custody of my three oldest children, and this custody has been going on ongoing since the beginning of this year. They just been dragging things out. You know what I'm saying? What was necessary for me to do is sit with a psychiatrist, a local psychiatrist, to get a complete evaluation. But I have been seeing the other psychiatrists over the past few months here and there, and it's just like, look, I'm more educated than you in this. You know what I'm saying? What we talking about? But the reports have been positive, all of them. Bipolar, what is bipolar? I'm spiritually gifted. You know what I'm saying? The last report did not mention anything about bipolar or OCD. It says she has healed herself through meditation and other spiritual practices. Thank you. Thank you. So what I was waiting for is the last evaluation, and then my children are going to be returned to me after we have the meeting with the social workers. That was supposed to be October. So after the last incident, I took matters into my own hand because I realized my social workers, they were not helping me. They were not going to help me. I realized that. So I used the last money I got to get to the location. Before my children left, they were fed. They were dressed decent. You know what I'm saying? And on the way, they ate. So they ate before we left, they ate. And on the way, they ate. The plan was to get to the women's shelter, and we was gonna be straight from there. Initial plan was to get to the women's shelter, not to stay there. I didn't want their money, their 10,000 grant after 2 months of staying. I didn't want none of that. I just needed legal assistance so that I can get my children out of my parents' care. I can get the inheritance, and we can fly up out of here. That was my plan. We got there, and I was missing $200. Well, I was short $200. The cab driver was, very incompassionate about that. He didn't show no compassion. All he wanted was his $200, although I paid 99.9% of the transportation fee. So I planned when I got there to get, an extra $200 from the woman inside, and then I was going to reimburse her. That didn't go as planned. They never accepted us. They kicked us out and shut the gate on our face, and said, she is not our problem. I then turned to him, and so what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I said, well, can you take us to the police station, so that I can at least decide where we gonna go from there. I planned from there. I had to think quick. Okay, you can take us to the police station. There, we can make some phone calls to see what other shelters we can go to. The shelter closed the gate on our face because they say that we did not inform the social workers, and I mentioned why I did not inform the social workers. So we got to the police station. We set our things near, kind of in the corner near the door, and they made phone calls. I spoke to two women on the phone. The first woman I spoke to said she was going to call me back. She never did. Another social worker came who worked in that district area. And I spoke with her. I gave my story. She said she was going to call me back. She never did. So we were waiting. While we was waiting, my kids running around, people, there near the door area, there was a plug where I can charge my phone, keep my phone charged. So whenever I needed to charge my phone, I would go over there, and me and the children, we would sit on the floor for a little while until my phone charged, and then we went out, or we would go sit on the chairs. Mind you, this entire time we did not receive any phone calls back. We got there about 12 o'clock. At the station, we got there about 1. Later that day, later, like almost in the evening, beginning of the evening, a social worker came who also worked in a district and had a conversation with me. I explained to her what was taking place. She requested that I return home. I denied it. Another social worker I forgot to mention asked me to return home. I denied it because returning home would be placing my children back in harm's in danger. You know what I'm saying? And the whole point of even coming here was to remove my children from an endangered environment. So no, that is not an option. You sound stupid. I didn't tell her that, but I was feeling that. So she said, okay, well, the social services said that they're on break. They were on break until next week, so it's not really much we can do. So you mean to tell me, in a situation as such, with a mother and her children, there's nothing you can do to help protect them? No emergency, like nothing emergency you can pull, no type of strings? That's unbelievable. I don't believe that. We will, and she said, okay, well, just let me make a few calls and then I'll be back. I said, okay, fine. 10 o'clock approaches. She came back saying that it's going to be 2 hours before. By then, my children were awake. They were awake, playing, all of that. She said it's going to be 2 hours before someone comes, before we go to a shelter. I said, okay, no problem. I'll wait. No, it was 9 o'clock. I said, okay, no problem. I'll wait. 2 hours later, 2 hours and a half or somewhat, 12 o'clock, right? 3 hours. It was damn near almost 12. By then, my children would sleep on the benches, and there was a mattress on the ground with my 3-year-old and my 4-year-old. My toddler and my newborn was sleeping on a table where I was. I was sitting up, I was watching them all, and then my other toddler was on the other side of the bench. So then they approaches me at 12 something. She approaches me along with other policemen with a paper in her hand saying that the court ordered for your children to be taken out of your care into your parents' care for 7 days. I said, what? Are you serious? I said, no. Okay, I put up a fight. Best believe I put up a fight because that didn't make no sense. They said because on the paper it said that my children were sleeping out on, outside and X, Y, and Z, and it's not good for them. Mind you, we were waiting for them. 2 women who were supposed to get back with me, never did. She basically promised in 2 hours we're going to go to another shelter. I waited. All this time I was waiting for them. So while I'm waiting for them, they was using that as an excuse to take my children away from me. Like, okay, we're going to wait until 12 o'clock, then we're going to take them away from her because, now we have a reason to. Because it's 12 and they still out here and she did not return home to the endangered environment. Do y'all feel me? What? They said that my children got there, right? They were sleeping out, and but that was because we was waiting for them. That was okay. The other thing, they said they haven't eaten. Well, or no, I didn't have any. We didn't have it. The children hasn't eaten. Well, for starters, we never planned for us to even be in a police station, mind you. When I was there in 2016. The reason why I appeared the way I did, because when I was there in 2016, I saw a woman who came there without informing them, right? She came there, that woman, and they allowed her in. So I thought it was going to be the same for me and my children, but it wasn't. And I didn't find out until I got there. Okay? So going to the police station, I went there to find other alternatives to help protect my children. So while waiting, I didn't have extra food, but they did eat on the way. They were well dressed. But by the time we got there, the officers, they were kind enough to help with food. They did help my children with food and things as such. My children ate, and they were messy. Then they were messy. Like after like an hour, they were just a mess. Hair all messed up. Everything was messed up. My year-old toddler, I forgot her shoes here at home, right? She was the only one who didn't have shoes. On the paper it said, it stated that they don't have shoes. My children didn't have shoes. They didn't have clothes. When I had a bag of clothes, all of their clothes, the same clothes that my parents took to their house when they came to get them, that they said I did not have. We trying to make sense of what? You gonna make sense of what? That was one, right? All of this is things that you cannot, that is not solid. None of it is solid. It's stupid. It is so stupid. So they take. Oh, also another thing that was mentioned, I didn't have formula for my baby. That's a lie. When I left, no one bought me formula. I had formula for my baby. I have 12 cans of formula, brand new cans of formula right here on the floor in my home. So I took a brand new can with me. That was a lie. That's a dead ass lie. On that can of formula that is at my parents' house right now, it says what? Truma. Why? Because that was given to us. Truma means charity. That was given to us through charity. So that same can that my parents have at their house is the same can that I took with me. I gave my parents that can of formula that they have for my baby. None of what they were saying made sense. Do you hear me? That's all they had. That's all they had. They had nothing on me. I didn't do nothing. So this is the underhanded shit that those who work for the government do in order to keep these babies in the care of predators so that they can get the money. This also explains why I've been asking them for years to help me heal my traumatic wounds. Help me heal. They have never helped me. I've been begging for their help, practically begging for their help. They've never helped me. But materialistically, they would. They would give me little pampers here and there. It's always like the same tactic my parents used growing up and throughout the same thing that they do with my brothers and my sisters as well. They give you just enough to keep you coming back for more. Keep you dependent on them. And that's how these social services work. They give mothers just enough to keep them dependent on their services, because without the mothers and the children, they don't have a job. How they gonna get paid? So it's like it's our job to continue to keep you in a state of misfortune, in a state of poverty, so that we can get our money. Y'all feel me? Do you feel me? This is my story. This is a part of my story. And I had to experience this so that I can speak up about it, because I never knew this shit was even happening. In spirit, like, you know what? We gonna pick her. Ancestors, like, we gonna pick you. You are chosen to experience this so that you can speak up about it. And here I am speaking up about it. I know my baby's gonna be fine. I know my baby's gonna be returned back to me safe and sound. And guess what? I have no worries about that. But right now, it's time for them to be exposed for who they are. So no, everything that you heard is a lie. I have done nothing wrong. Everything I've done was within the laws. I love my babies. And that's why I did what I did. And I stand on my truth. I don't know what y'all heard. I don't even know what's being said, but I know I can feel shit, people talking. But Child Protective Services took my babies away from me and placed them in the care of the same people who sexually abused me. That following night, I got home in the a.m., which was the 21st of the month. I got home. My entire home was flooded. I posted that on my YouTube page. I left my key on top of my electricity box. They came in my home, flooded my home. My speaker was right on the floor with plugged into the wall. Meaning the plot twist was when I came home, I was supposed to probably get electrocuted and die. You know what I'm saying? That didn't work. I spent the entire morning squeegeeing water. I got home about 3 a.m. I didn't even sleep at all. I squeegeed water. I studied. After I finished doing what I was doing, I was led by my ancestors to use this time to ground myself and travel, which I did. But I initially traveled for business, to record my scenery for my next project, which I'm about to start, and also to ground myself in nature and ground myself at the beach, which I've never been. I mean, which I haven't been in like 2 years. Well, I haven't had any me time in 2 years, so it's like, why sit at home and depressed? So I understood that this is a very critical time, and that it is very important for me to keep my vibration high. So I use that as I use it to my advantage, and I went and I had me a day out. It was very positive, uplifting. I was meeting new people. I met a woman who I think I specifically traveled to meet this particular woman to confirm this one particular this I'm sorry, I'm getting all excited. Let me calm down because I'm start stuttering. Okay. I believe that I traveled specifically to meet this one particular woman who I met on the beach. I was I was cooling with my cards and my tarot. I was pulling a little tarot cards. And then she approached me and asked, "No, you do tarot?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I do too." I'm like, "What?" Then she gave me her deck, and I was, kind of like got bonded with her deck as well. I was telling her about my situation, how it's just so complicated. Like, I don't know who is who regarding the love matter. I don't know who is who. It's like I know, but I don't. But it's like, how can I? It's like it was just confusing. It was confusing, very confusing, and it has nothing to do with the last individual who I played while he thinking he played me, which was a demonic entity that I was instructed to study, okay, by my ancestors. So I was instructed to study a demonic entity that has nothing to do with any of this. Well, actually, it does. He is the one who initiated the separation between the person and I who I'm supposed to be with. He initiated that. Okay, some type of black magic. So anyway, I was like very confused about that entire situation. Like I knew he was the one. I just knew. I knew it. I just knew it. But it's like, how could, like, my intuition was telling me that it was like I was just confused. I was confused. But I was confused because that particular person was, he was initiating, manipulating things and manipulating thoughts and things as such. And I learned too. I had to experience that too because I learned how to control my thoughts and also be able to identify which thoughts are mine and which thoughts aren't mine. You understand what I'm saying? I had to experience that with that demonic entity. I learned a lot about myself. So when I traveled and I met this woman, she said, I told her about the love, the love situation, which I will not speak about because it's not none of your business right now. Ain't your business, not right now. So I spoke to her. I'm like, it just confused me. I just knew that this person was the one. And she said, she pulled some cards for me. And she confirmed that it is him. I'm like, so the moment she confirmed that it was him, it made it a lot more easier because of what is, what is to take place in the future. Had I not met her, there's nothing he could have said that could have convinced me he is who he say he is. Nothing he would have said would have convinced me of that because of all of the experiences which I've experienced in my past with these over the past years with these men trying to lie to me and trying to deceive me, trying to manipulate me, trying to control me. Love spells. Also, I learned about love spells and how to identify when you are under a love spell. Women, I'm about to blow y'all mind. That will be my next video. Okay? When to identify. When do you know you are under a love spell? Okay? I got y'all covered on that one. So love spells thrown at me. You know what I'm saying? It was confusing. So it's like because of that, it's like there was nothing he can say to me. Nothing you can say to me. I already had my mind made up. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody, nothing. You know? So when I met her, she confirmed that. She confirmed that because the next chapter of my life, that's none of your business. But she confirmed that, okay? And that information was very important for this next chapter in my life. So I almost feel as if I traveled specifically to meet her so that she can confirm what what I intuitively knew, but kind of was conflicted about, mentally, like, I don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I used that time to raise my vibration. I found the most beautiful, oh my God, I was in heaven. I was in heaven. I was in heaven at the beach. I loved water. Oh, it was beautiful.